thought I had a good introduction, but I still don't. Y'all are not fucking new to my insanity. But welcome back. If you're new, I'm sorry. I'm gonna be saying some random shit that you're either gonna relate to or you're gonna be like, this bitch is fucking crazy. If you're not new, I'm back on my bullshit. For starters, different hair color, and no, just because I live in fucking Washington, you fuckers, it doesn't mean I'm supporting the Seahawks. I am staying the fuck out of football this season. Only here for the fucking halftime show. Let's go. And on top of that, got a new fucking tattoo. I'm happy. It's my Hades baby. Now, so pretty much today we're going to be talking about being mixed. And I'm also going to just start rambling because people of Snapchat have voted. They want to hear what it's like being mixed. They want to hear what it's like dealing with Karens, what it's like being hairstyles. I'm just going to start talking until I'm tired of talking at this point. But, we're going to cover a lot of shit today because this one thing I know is I'm tired of people calling me a fucking white girl. That's one thing. It's one thing if you don't fucking know. But it's another when you go, oh, you're mixed. Kaylani, you're half black. You look so fucking white, girl. I don't want to fucking hear that shit. Fucking hate it. I promise you, every mixed person out there that you know who is half white and half whatever, if they look white, they're tired of hearing that they look white to you. We know we look white. We don't give a shit. It's not a fucking compliment. If it was a compliment, bruh, if it was a compliment, I swear to God, the fucking ghost pepper people population, if you will, would not be under heat a lot. And guess what they are? They're under heat a lot. I'm so out of pocket tonight, guys. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. But let's get started. For starters, if you don't know, now you do. I am actually half black. I look like my mom, but I also look like the white version of my mom. I can say that. Why? Because I am comfortable, saying that I am the white version of my mom. But at the same time, I identify as black. Let me tell you why. The attitude, the voice, the facial expressions, the amount of sick and tired I am of other people says it all. It really just says it all. So there's that. But no, growing up mixed, you really do hear a lot in my RMHs. So if you see me doing this, I'm sorry. I don't want to hear how I'm not supposed to do this. There's Santa derm. But no. So growing up a lot, it was really important that me and my brother knew that we were just as much as black as we were white. Cause my dad's side of the family is their family. That's all I'm gonna say. I have nothing nice to say about my relatives on my dad's side. We'll get into that. But growing up we always were we're told not to backsass, any adult whatsoever. Doesn't matter. I mean, we're adults now, so of course we're gonna backsass a little bit, respectfully. But at the same time, if you're gonna disrespect me, I'm gonna get real disrespectful. But what was I saying? But yeah, no. Growing up, it was always don't talk back. If you're gonna talk back, you're gonna get hit, and not like that type of hit, but you're gonna get met with the belt, the shoe, the wooden spoon, anything within reach that was safe, light-handed. It could be, I would say, a phone cord, but those didn't exist in my time. They did, we just couldn't afford one. But stuff that won't obviously leave a fucking bruise. Our asses were painted red if we just did anything out of the ordinary, according to our mom. And that's fine. That's her way of parenting. And no, I'm gonna throw this fucking out there for you fucking spanking is abuse bitches. I have not been abused. I am not terrified of my mom. I respect my mom. And on top of that, never got taken away from my mom. I mean, there was an incident where my brother, had CPS come to my mom and dad's house when we lived in Montana. But he had told everybody that my mom and dad were on drugs for smoking cigarettes. My brother, if you also don't know, is on the spectrum. He's pretty much an angel in disguise, but also smokes weed. But what is it? No, he when we were in school, obviously everybody knows about the fucking DARE program. Tobacco was literally in the category of drugs. So my brother took that to heart. He tells the guidance counselor, yeah, no, both of my parents are on drugs. CPS lady comes and she's like, yeah, we have to give you a drug test. And then my brother like looks at my mom. He goes, yeah, no, because they're on drugs. They smoke tobacco. My mom has never ever let my brother live that down. My mom currently is a Washington State CPS officer. I'm not going to go into too much details there. But like even then she was able to like just pull up the old case and just read it to my brother, and it's just funny. But yeah, no, there's things you do and then there's things you don't do. One, when you're mixed, of course. One, what you don't want to do is you don't want to be caught being disrespectful or acting foolish, because this shit's just not allowed. Okay, it's just, and if you know, you know. If you don't, then you're probably the kid acting foolish. So my mama ain't got no problem snatching up another person's kid though, because let me tell you, if you're acting like a goddamn fool in the store and you're letting your kid straight up, kick, scream, whine, call you a bitch, all these other names, my mom's gonna look at you and be like, you can handle it, or I can handle it. If I handle it, your kid's getting the belt. She's gonna meet the belt section. Like that's just how my mama is. That's how any black parent is. I can't say the same for like any other person of color parent, if you will. All I know is from like growing up experience wise, my mama don't play. To this day, she still don't motherfucking play. Let's go. Oh my god. Sorry, I'm like texting my sister and like my best friend. I mean, I'm trolling my best friend right now. I don't want to talk about him though, because like he's funny as fuck. Anyways, let's see. What was he gonna say? He's asking me if I saw fucking Beetlejuice 2, and I haven't. He knows I haven't. Fucking asshole. I'm gonna text him in the middle of this podcast. You know what I'm gonna do? Y'all are gonna laugh with me. Like, I know this isn't a live stream, but trust and believe, the shit I say when I am stoned and I'm talking to this man is hilarious. Anyways, back to the motherfucking point. So, yeah, no. Growing up, like I said, my dad's side of the family was like pretty fucking weird when it came to, culture stuff, if you will. Like, for some reason, my grandma, who I love both of my grandmas. One of them is still alive. She's like my last grandma, which I need to put her in a bubble. But before my grandma passed away, my dad's mom's the one that passed away. She would always get me white dolls, and my grandma and my mom said would always get me black dolls. Now the thing is that I didn't mind either way. However, I'm told that when I was a lot younger, I didn't want to play with my white dolls. But fucking, this is where problems start though, is that something's wrong with your family when they make it so adamantly clear that you are white. And like it drives me fucking insane because they still fucking do this shit. So like when I was younger, I remember I was obsessed with Amy Winehouse. There wasn't a day where I was not singing Amy Winehouse. And I was obsessed with the song Rehab. Me. I don't know what the fuck Rehab's about. Mind you, I'm 8. I'm 8. 8-year-olds don't know what the fuck Rehab is, and we're not going to. Why? Because I was a child. Okay? I don't fucking know what Rehab is at 8. Anyways, there's this line in there where it's like, yes, I've been black, but when I come back, you'll know, no. I'm sitting there singing that song, and my grandma, my white grandma, if you will, if you want to get real technical, she's like, well, you're not just white, you're also black. Or, no, you're not just black, you're also white. So what happens when you talk too fast? You fucking slur your words. You have no idea what the fuck you're saying. Anyways, so she would make it like pretty adamant that we were like white as well as black, and it would be so fucking annoying because like, yes, we know we're white, but why do you need to let us know we're white? We need to be, both me and my brother identify as black because of this whole drop of blood rule where, in the olden times, it was if you had like even just a trace of like black blood in you, you were deemed black. It doesn't matter if you're as white as I am or as black as can be, if you will. You were labeled black. That's just how it was in those times, and that's just how we stuck it. And to this day, we still quote that. We're just like, with drop of blood rule, I'm black. Leave me alone. But now, and my mom says you can also tell by facial features, but like, I don't know. I've been told you can hear it in my fucking voice too. Which, let me know if you hear it in my voice, because sometimes I'll hear it, other times I won't. Now, knowing all of that, like me being an adult now, it was just fucking weird looking back on it. Because like I said, to this day I can't post a goddamn post on Facebook saying, I'm proud to be a black woman, or I'm proud to know that I'm not white. I don't identify as white. And then here comes my dad's sister saying, "Oh, but you are white." No, no, I'm not. I don't care. I'll get real disrespectful. I match energies. I'm not white, and I'm never going to say I'm white. Unless the only time you'll catch me saying I'm white is if like some fucking race war happens and like white people are taking over again or whatever, and they're just like, "What are you?" I'm white. Okay, I need to stay alive, and I'm gonna keep my family alive too. That's just how that is. That's just how the fuck that is. But anyways, getting sidetracked a little bit. But at the same time, like growing up mixed is like it's constantly having like it's so weird because like I said, I really look like my mom. Like I'm gonna try to find a picture and talk at the same time. But fucking what is it? Like everybody would be like, "Oh, is your kid adopted?" And I'm like, "No, that's my mom." Like what the fuck? And it's even in school. Like I shit you not. I would not tell anybody that I was biracial, which you'll never hear me say I'm biracial. Keep in mind, I call myself an Oreo cookie. Y'all cookies and cream. But when my mom would walk in, everybody would be like, "Oh, that's your mom? Is that your stepmom?" I'm like, "No, that's my biological mom. I'm black, guys. It's not hard to distinguish." People would get so fucking upset or like super shocked, and they'll be like, "Oh," and it's like, why does that matter? Like I to this day I don't understand. Like anytime I meet people, I will now automatically I say, "Yeah, I'm half black." For context, because I say some off the wall shit some days, and I'm like, guys, I'm really black, and it will throw people off. But old, like when I was younger, if you will, I keep saying old times as if I lived in fucking 1753 or some shit. But like when I was younger, I would always be like, "Yeah, no, my mom, my dad, my mom, my dad." I wouldn't bring skin color into it. Now it's like I have to because people get so fucking offended easily. And they would always ask, "Hey, where's your real mom at?" That is my real mom. My mom's black, my dad's white. This is 2008. I believe interracial couples may not have been popular, but they were popular at the time, in the 90s at least. I don't know. I'm not a 90s baby. I was born in 1999. I'm like at the end of the 90s, but still grew up with a lot of 90s shit. Which, hence, side note, don't call me a Gen Zer. Please fucking don't. I would rather be called just the forgotten 90s baby than a fucking Gen Zer, okay? Let's start there. But fucking I'm like trying to find a picture of her. And then it'll all like really make sense. But then it's like as you get older you start hearing like more racial slurs than anything. Like obviously being black you have the N-word, being white you have cracker. I'll say that one. You are not gonna catch me saying the other word. I just won't, unless it's for educational purposes. Either way, I'm still not gonna fucking say it. But like kids would always call him, me and my brother, they would always call him, adopted, or they'll call me adopted, and then they'll call me, a hybrid or a half breed, if you will. I've had someone literally tell me that I was a traitor to my own kind, and when I asked, I was like, what kind is that? They would be like, "Oh, the white kind," as if I had an option of being half black, and it was just so fucking weird. And like, I'm not ashamed. I'm not, because I like who I am. I like my parents. I love my parents, actually. I love that they're in love with each other when they want to be, and I love that I grew up the way I grew up, because it's just like, why the fuck is that anybody's business? Like I would even like I've dated people where they'll be like, "Oh, you're black." I would have never known that. Why does that matter? Would you not date me if I wasn't half black? It's just one of those weird things, and it's just like, come on now, let's be fucking for real. Oh God, she's posted a lot of drunk photos of me. Listen, listen, listen. That's another part of the thing of growing up mixed. I'm not sure if everybody else's parents do this, but this is what you're supposed to do. My mom was not my best friend until I pretty much turned 21. Like 18, she was like, all right, we can be friends. But 21, I'm now her drinking buddy. Like that's just how it is. So let's see if I can find a picture of me, my mom, my aunties. No, I don't like my face in that one. Actually, okay. Let's see if I can actually show. Okay, so then there's me. This camera doesn't fucking do it justice. If y'all know me personally, y'all can literally just go on my Instagram or some shit and like you'll see pictures of my mom and stuff. But like there's me, there's my mom, which or my mom's sister, my aunt Tanya right there, and then there's my other aunt Risa, who was married to my mom's brother, but he unfortunately passed away of a brain tumor. I'm not getting into that either. But anyways, as I was saying, growing up makes it you hear the most randomest shit. Even in school, like I had no idea who the fuck I was supposed to sit with because I can't relate to anybody. Like I was definitely the kid at school where if I was new, I would just be like keeping to myself. Everybody wanted to be my friend for just the one day because I was the new kid, and then the next day they would just go back and be like, oh, okay, fucking figure it out. Couldn't sit with the black kids, couldn't sit with the white kids. I sure as hell couldn't sit with the Indian kids because, again, I look whiter than snow. At the time, though, fun fact about y'all, about this, if you will. At the time, my skin tone was actually like closer to my brother's. And mind you, my brother's skin tone looks like really, really tan. Like that's his natural skin tone. That's my natural skin tone as well. However, because when I was in high school and I dropped out, I straight up just stayed inside. And my skin lightened because, I was lacking some sunlight. So because I stayed inside a lot, I ended up getting paler. And now to this day, I'm kind of working on getting that back. So I'm like more outside now. And like the thing is that I don't get a tan. Like I'll just get my skin pigmentation back. At least that makes sense to me. Like I don't know what it is, but like my natural skin tone is darker than what it currently is now. And it's like no tan lines whatsoever. Like you couldn't even find a single tan line on me. Anyways, growing up, in regards to like being mixed and shit, we would always get like our hair done a certain way. Like there was no such thing as a bad picture day. There's no such thing as a bad hair day in my family because it's one of those you're going to keep your hair up or you're not going to have hair pretty much. So me having, mind you, I like my short hair now because I'm a fucking adult. But like my hair used to be pretty much to my ankles. I'm 5'6", so you can imagine how long my hair was. My brother literally chopped it all the way up to my ear when we were younger. My mom was so fucking pissed. Like literally, because like we had school pictures the very next day. So she had to take me to get like a little A-line bob wedge cut or whatever it was at the time. So mind you, my hair went from Rapunzel to Eon Flux in a matter of 2 hours. So, but what is it? My brother would always have cornrows. I would always have box braids or latch hook braids. And if you don't know what latch hook is, you pretty much like you get your hair braided and then through each loop of the braid is like a little hair weave. My bangs are pissing me the fuck off. But like it's pretty much just how it was. And like my mom would always wear wigs too because again that's the thing that we did. I'm not saying only black people wear wigs, I'm just saying that we like to wear wigs, and we do. It's fucking true. I don't give a shit if you as a white person wear a wig. I don't even give a shit if you wear box braids. Some of y'all look cute. Some of y'all need to hear that y'all look ridiculous. And if we're gonna get in this whole turf war about how Vikings had braids, yes, they had a certain kind of braids. They didn't have box braids though, and they sure as hell didn't have no micro braids. And I will die on this fucking hill with this argument. So I don't know, fucking suck on it, I guess. Respectfully. And so what else? I mean, to this day, if y'all really want to know, I mean, I refuse to talk to my dad's side of the family. And it's not because they're racist. I mean, that's a huge part of it. But it's also because that they're just shady as shit, and I don't like talking to them. Like, That, and like I'm a firm believer that the phone works both ways. I'm tired of always reaching out to people and they just don't give a shit. My daughter is 2, and I've had one of my uncles literally tell me that they didn't even know I was a mom. And it's like, are you fucking for real right now? Of course I'm a mom. That's my whole life. That's my whole personality. That's my main personality. And then outside of being a mom, I'm still a thug. Shouldn't say that unless you know me. Don't call me a thug unless you know me, because then just might get dress kicked. So, but yeah, that's what's like being mixed. Because at the same time, it's you get like random things. In all honesty, like what is it? Like all the women on my mom's side, on my mom's dad's biological dad's side of the family. There's a reason why I say that, because like her biological dad's a piece of shit. We're not talking about him though. Like all the women on that side of the family, if you will, was born with 2 different hair colors, and it's true. And I'm not talking about, oh, my baby was born blonde and then her hair got darker when she got older. No, 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 no. This is one of the reasons why I keep my hair a different color at all times. So on mine specifically, I was born with dark brown hair to the point where it looked jet black, as you can tell by my eyebrows. However, right in this area right here to pretty much right there, mind you, I have very thick curly hair, so that's like a fat ass chunk right there. That is a natural platinum blonde streak. Every woman in my mom's side of the family has that. My cousin has it. It's in the back of her head. I have a aunt, I believe she is, who has like natural, like actual, like her hair grows in natural platinum blonde highlights. Every woman has them. I don't want to see it because I'm not Lily Munster. If you don't know who that is, I suggest you watch the original Munsters, not the Rob Zombie film, because you won't disappoint. And plus, I love old timey shows. So, and it's a really good show. But if you don't know who that is, pretty much picture the Bride of Frankenstein, how her hair is like black and white. Like that's pretty much who Lily Munster is, except for Lily speaks and she isn't. Oh my god, I'm scared. So, but yeah. At the same time, I will say, me having curly hair, like I have giant curls and my brother has like ringlet curls. My daughter has ringlet curls, so clearly she gets her hair from her uncle. The way genetics works will be a mix is that all of the dominant traits are either going to be the black features or the recessive white features. So that being said, I have giant curls, and a lot of people would sit there and say, "Oh, your hair's straight." Yeah, my hair's fucking straight because I straightened it, and it's a fucking pain in the goddamn ass every time. I hated my curly hair growing up because it was such a pain to deal with. It would tangle easily. My mom would brush it to the point where literally she would take a brush and scrape my fucking forehead just to get it all into a sleek ponytail. That's if your mom is not doing that, please count your blessings, because that shit you gotta like train your scalp for. Like, even being a hairstylist, I'll see people with curly hair and I'll ask them, are you tender-headed? In the back of my mind, I'm like, you better not fucking say yes, because if you say yes, you have not been through the shit I've been through with curly hair. And like 99.9% of the time, they're not. They rip out their own fucking hair. Why? Because curly hair is a bitch to deal with. And it sucks. I don't know why people want curly hair so much. Yes, it's beautiful, but the maintenance alone drives you crazy. It's just fucking weird. But like, bottom line, pretty much being mixed growing up all your life is pretty much people telling you the same thing over and over again. Oh, but you look white. I've had a white people literally say, "Oh, just looking at you, you could tell you're mixed." I'm sorry, I don't blend in with the untitled document culture. My bad. My fucking bad. But like, it's just a weird thing, because again, it's like, how do you move forward without it being a big deal? Because no matter what, growing up, it's always a big deal. And like, mind you, I just befriended a girl, really cool chick. I met her when I was at a stand-up comedy show watching like one of my celebrity crushes, Troy Bond. Please check him out, by the way. He's actually hilarious. Anyways, I was drunk. I can't remember if she was drunk, but now like we're like pretty much the same person. And I believe she said she was half Mexican and half white. But she, again, looks white as me, and it pisses her off too. Let me tell you, it's fucking annoying when you tell us this. Like, as if we're supposed to just ignore the fact that you blatantly just said that we look more white than we do. Like, I get you're not trying to be offensive, but at the same time, it's pretty offensive because it's like, okay, am I supposed to look a certain way for you to understand that I'm mixed? Like, sorry, I don't look like Doja Cat, or sorry, I don't look like fucking, I don't know, Rita Ora for that matter. Even though Rita Ora is not mixed, but she does look mixed, I will say that. It's fucking weird. So if you're friends with a mixed person and you know they're half white, please don't be that person. It's like, oh, well, my friend's half white and she don't look that way. She looks like snow instead of, a caramel bar, if you will. Like, don't say that. It really does piss us off. And like, I can't even tell you the amount of like crazy shit that gets said to me. It's to this day, it's insane. Like, before I switch topics, there was a guest. What is it? I had to literally tell her that I was like half black because she didn't trust me. Because you, like I said, you take one look at somebody and instantly you're judging them, and like, it's human nature and all. But our first encounter, she's like, "Oh, I don't want to talk to you because you don't have my same hair stripe." My hair was straightened that day, and I had to tell her, I was like, "No, my hair's straightened. I have your exact hair type." But because she saw my coworker, who I believe is Mexican, I don't want to assume her race, but because her curly hair was showing, she's like, "You have no idea what it's like." And I was like, "But I'm half black." And like, it's weird. I even had a guest literally say, who, like, I didn't tell him I was half black at the time. He goes, "Well, blacks get everything." And I just looked at him, I was like, I'm half black, right? My manager is like, "Yeah, she's half black, you need to go." Like, my boss has no problem kicking your ass out the store. She just doesn't. She likes to protect people, and I think that makes her a really good boss too. So there's that. But I do want to switch topics because I feel like if I get too much into being mixed, people are gonna think that it's like this whole race thing, and it's like, it's not. That's not me. Like, yeah, it's a huge part of me, but like, race isn't really a big thing to me. Like, that's like you telling me, "Oh yeah, my autistic son likes dinosaurs." Okay, could have just said your son likes dinosaurs. Why the fuck do I need to know he's autistic? You know what I mean? If it makes sense, it makes sense. If it doesn't, I'll explain it later on down the road. Second part of the topic that people apparently wanted to vote for was me dealing with crazy Karens. I literally had a guest slap himself because he moved and fucked up his own haircut. Literally. And it was when I just started working for Great Clips. Yes, I know Kaylani works for Great Clips. Listen. I know Great Clips may not be the best, but my specific location where I work at, we're the best. We are the best, god damn it. But fucking, what is it? No. He moved. He was like, so at Great Clips, we have this thing called Clip Notes. What are Clip Notes? I feel like I'm pitching a fucking sale, but like, you gotta understand what I'm saying. It's pretty much, if you come in and you like a haircut a certain way, we type it in our little computer. That way, if you like it and you want to get the same haircut next time you come in, it's right there. It kind of prints out on like a little sheet of paper, and then we read off those notes, going, "Okay, this is what happened last time. Do you want to do that again? Make adjustments as needed." So I pull this guy back, and he usually sees my coworker Jen, or he used to see her, I should say. And I'm reading the notes, and I'm like, "That's what you want, right?" And he's like, "Oh yeah. This dude was talking, and I guess he can't talk and sit still at the same time, and I don't think I need to tell y'all why that's very fucking important." But like, he moves, and my clippers pretty much go from here all the way up to pretty much here, and I'm just like, I'm freaking out at this point because I have anxiety. So now, those of you who know, I got like the anxiety sweat where it's like, oh my god, suddenly it's hot in here. Like, my anxiety is kicking in now all of a sudden. And so he goes, "Oh, I don't think I can come back from this. You pretty much fucked up my hair." And I'm just like, "Okay." So I had my other coworker kind of fix it while I was on the phone. And then next thing I know, this man is slapping himself saying, "Oh my god, my hair is fucked up and fucking ruined." My coworker checks him out, free haircut because, I messed it up even though he moved. He clearly moved. And He goes, well, I want to know what your boss is going to do to reprimand you too. Who the fuck says that? Like, who the fuck says that? Reprimands? Like, dude, you moved during your own haircut. I shouldn't have to tell a grown ass man to sit still during a haircut. You're fucking 43. You need to sit still. Otherwise, you're going to be bald. Children, I can understand because children are children. But adults, y'all are fucking old enough to know that if you move, you're gonna fuck up your own hair, and it's not my fault. That's really not my fucking fault. I'll take responsibility and go, okay, hey, you know what, you moved and I cut your hair shorter than it needs to be. I'll be professional about it, but in the back of my mind, I want y'all to know that I sincerely hate you if you move during a haircut. I don't care. I don't care. That guy is actually banned from all of the Great Clips locations that my boss's boss, they're called franchisees. Every franchisee has like a certain amount of Great Clips that they own. So our owners banned him from all of their locations. He's not allowed to like go to any one of our locations because of how he acted, and that's fair. I do not feel bad because if you're slapping yourself because you fucked up your own haircut, sir, you need mental help. Mental help. With heavy on the mental part. I've also had a guest where she stomped like a 2-year-old because she didn't get a free updo service. I'm not gonna go into detail on that one because like details are a little bit foggy because it was during a time in my life where I was just too depressed to focus on shit. Because yeah, we're not gonna get that's a later episode when we get into depression, if you will. But it's just it's fucking weird because I don't understand why people act the way you do. I've gotten mad a couple times, but I also stop myself and go, this is not this random person's fault. Like, there's a time where I'm fucking yelling at Verizon because Verizon fucking sucks, in my opinion. And one of the people on the phone is like, oh, don't worry, ma'am, I'm sorry, it's taking so long, I'm trying to help you. I was getting frustrated, but I didn't yell at the worker because it's just not worth it. And it's not his fault that their network was being slow at the time. It's not his fault. And it certainly wasn't his manager's fault. I always try to be nice when I can. The only time I'm not nice is when, Chads and Karens want to get in my face and talk down to me like I'm some child. First of all, I am an adult. And if you cannot respectfully talk to me as an adult and come at me and speak to me like an adult, then I'm going to treat you very differently. And I'm going to treat you like how I would treat any other person that pisses me the fuck off. Like, we can either fight right now or you can get me yelling at you. And I like to hurt people's feelings when I'm pissed. Like, literally, my words are very, very vile. Like, I don't give a shit. I really don't. What was I saying? Oh, right. But no, dealing with Karens it's crazy because like you see all the videos and you think they're like, oh, I would do this in this situation until it actually happens to you. Then you're just like, I gotta be fucking professional at a time like this. Mind you, if I was another guest at my job and I saw a Karen attack a stylist and I'm not a stylist, I'm going to go off. However, being a stylist, I have a child to raise, I have bills to pay, I gotta help my mom around the house and shit. I can't afford to lose my job. I just can't. That, and I love my job and I love my coworkers. I don't think they would ever fire me, but at the same time, I'm not going to do something so stupid and careless, you know? That being said, it's just weird for me to just be like, yeah, let me just accept it. I'm actually just going to be like, listen, lady, relax. Y'all will see a side of me that I don't like showing people, which is the mean side of me, because I don't like being mean unless I really have to. But I will say, there's this one crazy Karen lady that literally got all up in my personal business a couple weeks ago. I mean, for starters, she saw me, and I hate when people look at me and they go, "Oh, because she's young, she has no idea what the fuck this is." For starters, if you walk in and you ask for a wolf cut, I'm telling you right now, your hairstylist hates you because we don't call it a wolf cut, we call it a shag cut with layers. If you walk in and ask for a butterfly cut, guess what that is? That's going to be a hair with long layers. We don't like these funky new ass names, if you will. Like, we don't give a shit. Just just show us the picture and be like, okay, so you want something with a lot of layers. Okay, you want something that's on the shaggier side. Well, we get it. We just don't tell us the names. That's just a little insider input, if you will. Fucking what else is it? Um Anyway, so she comes in, she sees me, and she goes, "Oh, do you know how to do this A-line cut where it's stacked in the back?" First of all, my specialties are not only color, but I specialized in women's design back when I worked at high-end salons. Now I'm specialized in just cuts in general, literally. And so I'm just like, yes, of course. She looked at me like I was stupid. She goes, "Oh, do you need the picture to know what you're doing?" I'm like, "No, I don't, because again, I know what I'm doing. I am a trained professional. The license that I got from Washington State that says Kaylani Braxton Hill passed all of her exams. Here's her license number, because she is licensed in the state of Washington to practice cosmetology. That clearly means I know what the fuck I'm doing with your hair." So that being said, thought she would calm down like a little bit, and like she did. And then she started asking me personal questions like, "Oh, so are you married?" I told her no. And she just kind of lectured me on why I should be married at almost 25 years old. I don't want to be married. I really don't. I have no successful role models to be married, of marriage, if you will. Like, yeah, sure, if it happens, it happens. I'd be excited, sure. But, like, I'm also not going to go searching for it. It's weird because, growing up, I would watch my mom and dad fight. Like I said in the old episode, I would watch them fight back and forth, back and forth. I even had an aunt who, and I'm not throwing her business out there, but her husband cheated on her, and those two were like the perfect couple in my eyes. Now they're not. There's nothing. All of my aunts and uncles don't have perfect relationships or perfect marriages, so it's like I have no one to look up to. So who the fuck am I going to base my marriage off of, So I don't want to get married. Like I said, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it don't. But she just fucking lectured me. She's like, "Oh, I get it. Did your mom have like a lot of husbands and you had like a lot of stepfathers?" I was like, "No, my parents are still fucking married. They're still married. Point blank. There's no reason to sit there and assume that my mom got married multiple times. Like, no, that's not what happened here. Like, whatsoever." So then she like shut the fuck up for a couple minutes. Then she was like, "Well, what do you like to do for fun in your free time?" I was like, "Well, I have a 2-year-old and she takes up my time." She goes, "Oh, you're an unmarried mother." I fucking hate you for that. So I told her, I was like, "Yeah, pretty much. She takes up all my time and whatnot." And she goes, "Oh, what's her name?" So I gave her my daughter's full name, which if you don't know, her whole name is Paisley Ireland Bell McEnany. Ireland because in both of her parents, me and her dad, have Irish ancestry, if you will. And then the Bell part is named after my great grandfather, who actually is still alive. Like his middle name is Bell. I don't know how. I don't know if that's like a French thing or what, but like, yeah. So her middle name literally is Ireland Bell. It's hyphenated. It's like all one word, but hyphenated. I don't know if that still counts as one word. Anyways, so that being said, she then goes, "Oh, is it Ireland because that's where she was conceived?" And I said, "No, it's Ireland because both parents have Irish ancestry, except for her dad is like 100%. Like, he's not mixed with anything. He's just, his whole family comes from Ireland. And certain words he says, you'll hear like the Irish accent. Like, if he says three, he'll say he'll say three in an Irish accent. There's certain words, I always forget them. And, sorry. Excuse me. And you'll hear it. And she goes, "Oh." And then she goes, "Well, no wonder he bagged you." And I'm just like, who the fuck says that? Like, who the fuck thinks that's appropriate to say to somebody? So that's not really a Karen experience, but like it's more of a person invading like my personal space. Like, I'm all for answering personal questions if I'm comfortable, but this lady just made me super fucking uncomfortable. She's not kicked out. I just hope I don't have to deal with her ever again. Like, ain't no way in hell. Fuck that shit. I'm gonna be real. the third topic y'all wanted to talk about was cults. I'm not big on cults because I don't really give a shit if someone's in a cult or not, because, some cults really take the fuck off, some don't. But I'm going to sit there and end the topic of cults saying I think people who pay money to churches are 100% in a cult, because why do I need to go to church to praise somebody that you believe in? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a spiritual or a religious person. I don't go to church. Church is not my thing because I've always felt unwelcome at a church, especially being, I like to say half gay, but like, especially being gay. I just don't, I've never felt welcome. And I get it. Some churches are not like that, but I've never felt comfortable in a church. I mean, I love to sing. I was in choir and all, but like at the same time, it's like, okay, but you gotta be okay with the fact that I have tattoos. You gotta be okay with the fact that I have a child. I'm not married. I had a child out of wedlock. Still not married. I'm a single parent. And on top of that, you gotta be okay with the fact that I'm also gay. Because if you're not cool with that, then why the fuck am I even trying? You know? And then what is it? Today, I took my daughter to see her dad, and we went to this church thing. It was the first time I set foot in church in years, mind you. And, it was kind of cool and all. But, like, he picked up this pamphlet thing, and I forgot what the word was. But, like, straight up, it was one of those things where it tells you that you can give 10% of your check to the church. No! Because why am I giving a church my check, and on top of that, why does God need money? It's not like he needs it. And if we're being completely honest, if God's gonna come to earth, I'm pretty sure he's got the powers to make shit free for himself. We all saw Bruce Almighty. We all saw it. I like to think that God is exactly like Bruce Almighty a little bit. And if he's not, then he's 100% like the God in that TV show Lucifer, where he loves his children and all, but he's just also, a jerk to them. Let me stop before I get struck by fucking lightning. But yeah, no, that's like one of the, a cult thing. Like, I think it's a cult. Schools could technically be a cult too, because what do? You wake up and you go, you gotta spend all your time there, you gotta listen to someone. Day in and day out, just teaching you about shit that you already know. And it's like, don't want to learn today. I really don't. By the way, y'all, happy Friday the 13th. Happy spooky time. I'm so happy that my birthday this month literally takes place when there's a Friday the 13th. I was born on September 29th, so I am turning 25. I'm just happy that there's a spooky day involved. But, yeah. But, what else? You know what? I'm really not done talking to y'all. So we've talked about being mixed. We've talked about, crazy Karens, a little bit of it, because I don't want to get too much into it without getting pissed off. And we had a miniature conversation about cults. You know what? Actually, I did have a friend. He asked if I could talk about this. So my friend, not the one that I was saying I'm gonna text, but like, I'll talk about him too. But like, a friend on Xbox told me, he goes, "Hey, can you talk about how you personally feel about the phrase, I'd pick the bear over the man?" And like, this is gonna piss some people off, and that's fine. The whole purpose of this is for y'all to kind of understand how it sounds like from another person's perspective. That's the whole purpose of my podcast too. And on top of that, it's me telling y'all, listen the fuck up a little bit. So pretty much, if you don't know what it is, it's if you're put in a dangerous situation, being a woman, of course, as a woman, who would you trust for your safety, a bear or a man? Both of those answers sound shitty as fuck. Like, I'm not. I mean, I love bears and all. It's like my spirit animal, but I'm not picking a bear because a bear is gonna fucking kill me. However, a man can protect me from a bear, but also a man is skeezy. And I know there's gonna be some women going, okay, but like, I would rather get killed by a bear than put up with the treatment with whatever the man's gonna do. Okay, but now that's not my issue. My issue though is when you're in a relationship with a man and you have the nerve to say that as if your boyfriend is mistreating you. I get all men are not the same, and they're not. But to sit there and say all men are dangerous or all men are the same, no. Now you're insulting your dad, you're insulting your brother, you're insulting your uncles, your cousins, your sons for that matter. You're even insulting the person you're in love with, which is if it happens to be a man in this case. Because now you're sitting there telling me that your dad, your brother, your uncle, your cousin, your son, and your boyfriend or husband has put you in a position to where he made you feel unsafe with him. And they could be the sweetest guy in the world. So you're telling me your sweet ass boyfriend is putting you in harm's position. You're telling me that. That's what you're telling me. Your boyfriend 100% should be fucking offended with that. And let me tell you why. Because if it's at the point where, oh my god, I would rather trust the bear than, trust my boyfriend. No. No. A bear is going to fucking kill you in a matter of seconds. It's not a furry dog. It's not a kitten. It's a fucking bear. And yes, men are creepy. Are all men creepy? No, because if all men are creepy, I promise you, all women would be lesbians. All of them. All of them would be fucking lesbians. I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, and I'm probably gonna lose a bunch of people on my Snapchat after talking about this. But no, some of y'all really need to fucking hear this shit because it's pissing me the fuck off. I'm not going to sit there and say all men are the same, because not all men are the same. If you've had a bad experience with a male, then that male is a piece of shit, and men like him are pieces of shit. However, my brother is a fucking angel. Wouldn't hurt a single fly unless he has to. Do I think that he is going to date rape somebody? No, I don't. My brother's not capable of doing that. And I know for a fact he's not capable of doing that because I grew up with him. He wouldn't even. He's been through a lot of shit too. So he would not, in his mind, even if like a woman is fucking beating the shit out of him, he wouldn't touch a woman. And yes, there was an incident where this girl kept kicking him, and out of self-defense he did punch her in the face, but after that he's never hurt a woman whatsoever. And I know some of y'all are gonna be like, well, technically he didn't. No, if it's self-defense, I'm telling y'all right now, if you are attacking a man for no real reason, that man has every right to punch you in the fucking face. I'm sorry. Just because we have boobies and we're women, it doesn't mean we should get away with the stuff we get away with. Just like how women can freely accuse men of rape and ruin a whole life. And we're automatically going to get, people are automatically going to believe us because we're women. That's just how it is, unfortunately. And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. Because it makes no sense for a perfectly innocent person to go to jail for something that's not true. Like, we have that power, and that's scary. That's scary. Because I have girls who have sons. I have girl friends. I have mom friends. I don't know what the fuck I was trying to say there. Who have sons, and now their sons gotta, get raised not to set a woman off or make sure that a woman is comfortable if they choose to have sex with them, because we live in a world where women will literally lie about that all because they regret having sex with somebody. That's scary. If I was a man, I would be terrified to have sex with a girl because what the fuck did you just accuse me of? You know what I mean? Don't worry, fellas. I'm coming after y'all too. Don't worry. Just hold your fucking horses because y'all do that same shit with the whole all women are the same. No, not all of us are the same. It's not my fucking fault. Your ex cheated on you and now you're convinced all women are the same. No. Your ex cheated on you because she's a piece of shit. That doesn't make me a piece of shit. That just means now I have to tiptoe around feelings and be careful with what I say because you're going to take me fucking seriously. Like, listen. And I'll be real. There's been times where I've been, the other girl knowingly. My last relationship, I stole him from, his girl. In my defense, she was feeding him drugs and he needed to get the fuck out of here. I unfortunately have this savior complex where I feel the need that I have to save people, and it's fucking exhausting as shit. It's hella exhausting. Like, are you fucking kidding me? I don't like it. It drives me insane. Like, I'm finally trying to, like, be like, yo, Kaylani, put that shit on the back burner. Like, that's where I'm at right now. Because it's exhausting being me. It's exhausting being nice all the goddamn time, especially when I get treated like shit. That's gonna be a next topic after this, because now I got a lot to say. But no, so if you're convinced that all women are the same, then maybe you should go invent a time machine, master time travel, and go back to the 1950s, where women were told to stay at home, clean the house, clean the kitchen, look after the kids, make sure everything was fine, just be a fucking wife. That's what you should do. Because, oh my fucking god, it's insane the amount of men that cry over the dumbest shit. And I'm not saying men shouldn't cry, men should have emotions. Because if you're gonna have emotions, show them, because you're a fucking human being. But if you're gonna bitch to me about how I need to be a 1950s housewife, fuck you. I'm not doing shit. For real. Okay, guys, actually, we'll make this an hour-ish episode. We're at 50 minutes so far. I'll talk a little bit about depression. If you want to know more about depression, y'all know where to find me on Snapchat or Instagram, whatever, and just be like, oh, I really want to know more on, like, this topic. I want to know more on that topic. This, again, I will talk about fucking cereal if y'all want me to. But anyways, I can't believe I'm fucking talking about this. Holy shit. It's been years since I've actually talked about my own fucking depression. So I've been struggling with depression since I was 10, pretty much. And it starts off, you move from Washington, you move to Montana. Nobody likes you, nobody knows you. So they decide to bully you. I've been bullied for being too skinny because I have a high metabolism. I literally have been asked so many times if I was bulimic or anorexic or fucking on meth of some sorts. For starters, no, I'm not. Am I a picky eater? Yeah. Yeah, I am. But, however, I've never been on drugs. The only drug I do is weed, occasionally. Not in front of my daughter, but, like, that's pretty much it. That's as far as drugs go, it's always been weed. It's never anything else. And for someone to literally, like, tell me that while I'm a child, mind you, it didn't make me feel great at all. I've had uncles literally tell me that I'm super scrawny, and it's fucking weird too. I'm not crying or anything. I'm trying to, like, stay awake. But what is it? I've had people do the wrist test, where you take your hand and you just do the whole connect thing and you just see where it breaks. Obviously, from as you can see, it barely breaks, like, right there. People would always come up to me and do that, and it would just not, it would make me feel not really good about myself, and I hate it. And then as it would progress towards, like, fifth and sixth grade, middle school, it just got really worse. Like, what is it? When I was in the fifth grade, I had a lot of guy friends because I wanted to be friends with guys. No relationship, anything, no flirting. I just wanted to be friends with somebody that would understand. This girl ran and told all of their girlfriends that I was flirting with them, and all of those girls cornered me and told me that if I didn't stop flirting with their boyfriends, they were going to beat me up. At the time, I didn't know I could fight, so I didn't want to fight them. I just was like, oh, I didn't know I was flirting. I was actually just having a conversation about, WrestleMania, because I'm pretty much, I'm not a tomboy because I also like doing girly shit, but I'm also not a girly girl. Like, I like wrestling, I like blood and gore, I like video games, I like getting my nails done, I like, spa days and shit. But, like, to be told that I'm being flirty because I'm having a conversation with a guy, like, are you serious? That's fucked up on the slightest. What is it? I've had a girl, while I was in the girls' locker room changing for gym, I've had her literally just kind of like eyeball me through the stalls to see what I was doing in the stalls, and it would just freak me the fuck out, because now you're watching me go pee, That's insane. And she would always, like, she ran and told everybody that when I use the bathroom, I don't do anything. I just sit on the toilet and I pee, and then I don't use toilet paper. That's what she said. She said I don't use toilet paper. I use toilet paper because it's fucking gross if you don't. That's like hella gross if you do not use toilet paper. But she told everybody in my school that, and everybody starts laughing at me, and I'm just like, well, what's so funny? And then next thing I know, my locker, mind you, this was 5th grade. My locker was full of, like, toilet paper rolls and like newspaper clipping coupons of toilet paper deals, and I'm just like, what the hell? And it sucked for me. And then in grade 6, what is it? We had this in Montana, Cascade specifically. We had this thing called, the spring formal, where, what is it? You could pretty much just, it's like a prom pretty much, but like for middle schoolers and 6th graders, if you will. No one asked me to the dance. That's pretty much the story of my life. And this is not a rom-com or anything, but like no one's ever asked me to the dance. So I went by myself and some friends, of course. I made the mistake of going because one guy really he saw me standing there, he asked me to dance. He didn't have a crush on me. I found out that he was only dancing with me to distract me from the fact that the girls were loading up their little punch cups to hold, and then when the dance was over, they would pour it on my dress. That's how my night went, and I never understood why I had to go through that. So that's when the self-harming began. Literally. Like, depression fucking sucks. Like, once you're depressed, there's no cure. You will always have depression. Like, people don't fucking talk about this enough, and it's fucking crazy. I'm not gonna get too heavy into this because I want to stop at 1 hour, but like I can go further into depression and shit, and like the shit I went through, like such as like attempted suicide, the self-harming, all of that. I could really get into that, but like I want it to be an episode where it targets the right audience, because I am actually coming up on my death anniversary, or almost death anniversary, if you will. So it's like one of those things where it's just like I want to save it for that day specifically, just so people know that you're not alone in this world, and at the same time it's like there's help. It does feel like no one's there, but like there is help. You constantly tell yourself, I'm important, someone cares about me, someone needs me on this earth, I need to live for this reason, because it sucks being in that mind frame. And if you haven't been on the edge to the point where you're just tired and you're ready to end it all, it's hard to speak from it. It really is. Because it's like, how the fuck do I talk to someone about that? They haven't experienced it. They have no idea what it's like, being in my head. I will say this. I tried to honestly, I tried to drown myself a couple times, and I tried to hang myself, and there's a couple times where I literally tried to shoot myself. Didn't want to do it. Did not want to do it. By the grace of God, I failed. Thankfully, I failed, because I have been missing the fuck out on life. Like, and this is the weird thing, because I didn't expect to live this long anyways, but like, still. My brother actually kind of found me in the middle of an attempt, and he's like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Why are you doing this? And I told him, like, I didn't want to live anymore. I'm tired. I'm fucking tired. I like broke down and shit. Like I said, we'll get into it, but I will say he is pretty much the reason why I stay alive. Now my daughter is the reason why I stay alive, but my brother I owe a lot to, because my brother's pretty cool. So, but that being said, I am going to end this note. I feel like I owe you guys because I didn't upload on Thursday, or not Thursday, but Wednesday. Mostly because, computers and shit, and plus I'm also fucking tired, okay? But yeah, it's weird for me getting used to all of this and stuff, and getting people to like view and hear what I have to say. But I felt like I owe you guys, so I will try to post every Wednesday and Friday, because I was asked to do at least 2 episodes. So I kind of forced everything into one gigantic episode. But follow me on Instagram. It's Kayla Talani, KaylaTulani. And, my Snapchat's on there, so I'm not going to post my Snapchat, especially not on YouTube. But that's where most of the voting does take place on what topics I want to do. So, for that being said, I am going to log off, and I hope you guys have a lovely Friday the 13th. I'm going to go fucking watch some horror movies because I'm awesome at that shit. So, love you all. Good night.